Welcome to episode 3 of RUNcensored with me, Ben Mountset, and the co-host.
Is it episode 3?
Yeah, it is episode 3.
Oh, sorry.
Sorry. I knew it was episode 3. Welcome to episode 3 of RUNcensored with me, Ben Mountset, and co-host Gary House. Special guest today, returning to the floor, is Tom Kane.
Nice to be back, thanks guys.
And new special guest, housewife favourite, Rich Gill. Thanks for joining us.
What intro.
Great intro, that. How are you doing, Tom?
Yeah, all good. Yeah, really pumped to be back. Good Christmas. Looking forward to New Year. I'm looking forward to the New Year, actually.
And it's New Year's Eve as well, isn't it?
Yeah, it is New Year's Eve, yeah.
You're excited about being here, Rich, New Year's Eve?
Best party I've ever had.
Yeah.
You know,
I mean, with your 3 favourite men.
know.
Yeah.
Dreams do come true. What a
It's
place
Not
for
often
it.
I'm the ugliest in the room, but like looking at you, Pete, I'm struggling.
New boy band, yeah, no direction.
No, shame we're not on stools, but
That's
yeah.
true, yeah.
Yeah.
Shame we can't sing either. Well, I can't sing, but you 3 might be able to. I could maybe just be in the background with some maracas like Bez. Yeah.
And dance on.
What's the plan after? I know we've got to get through this first. I mean, do this, enjoy this, but
Central Sheffield.
Well, we're in Sheffield.
Yeah.
We're in a room above a tattoo studio.
Yeah.
We've not started drinking yet, but I would imagine we might
Yeah.
make it down there at some point.
Let's get a
Fancy
tattoo
one?
first.
Yeah.
Yeah.
what are we thinking?
I think so. Well,
Team tattoo.
I quite
Yeah.
like that Leeds tattoo you've got, Rich. I might get one of those.
Right, you've given me stick about this before. Can you just listen? My good mate, whose tattoo studio is downstairs, that is not a Leeds
He
tattoo.
stitched you
It's
right up there,
homage
mate.
to Sheffield and my roots.
He stitched you right up, mate. Yeah. So Rich is a big Chef Wednesday fan.
fact-
Tom's a big Chef United fan. As you can tell, I'm a big Leeds fan. And Gary is a Man U fan. And Wrexham as well now, mate. We're doing good. So I
Come
think
on,
probably
Wrexham,
turn to
aren't
Wrexham.
they?
Yeah,
They're going for it,
like you
yeah.
said, kids are big Wrexham. I'm more Manchester United, but it's I'll happily go and watch Wrexham and celebrate something.
I think we need a backup these days with Man U, though, don't you?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's good. It's good fun, mate. Like growing up, it was all pretty tribal football. Whereas like Wrexham, it's still a bit tribal, but it doesn't mean as much to me now, so I can enjoy it.
Yeah.
Yeah. But Sheffield's been a new experience to me. It's been good. Rich has been filling me in before it, so.
What? Filling me in about Sheffield.
Hang on. We've not had any drinks yet.
Anyway. But yeah, I mean, these two are both local.
And that's why
aren't
we've got him on the show.
they? These two are both local, so you've been telling us about the best coffee shops, and you're a coffee connoisseur, Tom.
I do like
it is
coffee,
the coffee
yeah.
capital, I think, of the north, isn't it? Quite impressed.
Yeah, there's a lot of coffee shops going on.
I've had 3 coffees, all from different shops today.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I don't.
A lot of food halls as well.
It's like what Turkish barbers is for the of us. There's just
Yeah.
there's something dodgy going
And
on
charity
with the coffee
shops
shops.
in Skipton near me as well. Yeah, there's coffee shops. I mean, it's not a bad thing to have as part of your city centre, is it?
Yeah.
But no, it's thanks for joining us, lads. It's good.
Absolute pleasure.
Yeah, what have you been up to, Rich?
Yeah, well, Christmas out of the way. Too much cheese and wine, as you do. But bit of running, back in the peaks and hitting some of the winter trails. It's been good. And then, just slowing down after a hectic sort of that October, November period. Yeah, fun stuff.
Just a quiet one, though. Yeah.
Yeah, a steady one. Yeah, I've got friends tonight.
Yeah.
But we'll have a couple of beers and then,
Yeah.
And then
Couple of beers, tattoo.
we get
kebab
that
back home.
tattoo. Yeah.
Quite
It's been steady, thanks.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
Nice one. And are you going to stay out tonight, Tom? You've got to get back for the
To be
kids,
honest, if I see midnight, I'll be impressed. I'll be in bed. Watching a pre-recorded Jules Holland fucking Hootenanny.
So good.
Which I thought was live. I hate it when they do that.
I know.
Oh, it's pre-recorded. It's awful,
Like,
isn't it?
what a joke.
They're
Thing
like
is-
ripping the people off, really, aren't they?
I don't get the whole like celebrating in October and September. Imagine if when you realise that Corrie's not live. It's like they filmed that in September.
Yeah.
I'm just not a massive fan of New Year's, to be honest. Christmas, I'm all about Christmas, but once that's over, is that like no man's land between New Year's Eve, so Christmas and New Year's Eve, and then the night's a bit depressing.
Because there's still food there, there's still drink there. You're not going to waste it, but at the same time, it's like a bit of a chore, isn't it?
Baubles are hanging off the tree, pine needles everywhere, and you're thinking, it's
that time of year. But we've got something to look forward to, Rich. We're going to Gran Canaria in Feb to race. You fancy joining us?
What?
You fancy joining us? So I'm not going to pay for your flights. Just just get that.
No, I would have to go to
But if there are any sponsors out there that want to fly Rich out,
get me out.
We're just putting it out there now, aren't we, Rich?
Yeah, I mean, it's an iconic race, isn't it? Grand.
Yeah, it's going to be fantastic. Tom's racing the 12K. I'm on the 25. Gary, the big dog's doing the classic. So after me and Tom are finished, we're going to cheer Gary on.
Yeah,
nice.
Going.
Is the classic 100 and...
I think it's 115k.
Wow.
Something like that.
Wow,
I might be a bit wrong.
wow.
But it's a hike at the minute. So.
And you're, sorry, what you're...
25. So keeping it real, 25. Keeping it honest, mate. Yeah,
that's yours.
Yeah. I mean, if I just come back from a 10-month injury, I'll probably go into something bigger, like classic.
You can hide in the long ones. You can just go for a windy walk. And you have to run fast in yours.
I mean, fair play to Gary though. Like that's got him straight back in there, isn't it?
Yeah.
So it's a classic race though as well because you're starting on the beach at midnight, running throughout the morning and the day. It'll be amazing, mate. And you're right. You're sort of building into it, aren't you? You're not straight.
Yeah. You
It's
never
a
know.
different kind of racing.
And hang on, you're racing. Have you raced?
No, I'm sort of what's his name? Just under the expert guidance of Gary, that Ablon guy.
I'm mentor. I'm that vibes man.
Ben, Ben's
just like keeping him going, giving him those motivational talks at work, like ringing him in the morning, he's running and
get up, get out there, you prick.
Get up, you bastard! Go bring your weight. This is a while now. So he's straight out the door in the morning. Make sure you've got the right kit. And again, if you're not sure about what to take and pack for races abroad, check out episode 2 where we sort of covered some little tips and tricks there. But we are going to feedback as well about Transgran. I think we might even do something when we're out there. If Rich comes, certainly, because we could have 4 of us there.
I'll be there with my camera.
With his long lens out.
Long lens,
Watching our hotel room.
72 for you, Gary.
Yeah. But it's been a good year, hasn't it, last year? I mean, last year, we're still hanging on to 2024, but we've got a lot to look forward to next year. But I thought this episode, we could do a little recap on a year in trail, looking back at some of the standout performances. Shall I kick us off?
Yeah.
I haven't got any standout performances personally, but I'm just admiring other people's performances. I mean, got to start with Jasmine Paris, haven't we? Barclay Marathons.
Yeah.
Do you know about Barclay Marathons, Tom?
To be honest, from my mate Dave, Pina Colada Dave. Shout out.
Dave Miller.
Shout out Dave.
I've got his second name. It is his second name. Dave likes a Pina.
Part of the reason we're here today, I'd say. Well, big part.
Yeah, he is.
We'll get him on in future.
Can you make that photograph flash up on the thing? That was Dave's photograph, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was actually that iconic picture, the thumbnail, the RUNcensored logo. Well, the picture behind the logo. Dave Miller took that. Nod to Dave there. Took that amazing picture of Jasmine at Barclay as well, which actually I got printed for the office. It is.
Oh, right, nice.
You'll see that. It's going to be up soon.
He's got a book out. We'll give him some free promotion. Go and get it.
Can I just say, don't block the gate. I ordered it. It's arrived in lovely wrapping, and it's an amazing thing. And you get a hell of a lot of the iconic images that David Miller took. You know, me and David are friends. We were all friends with David after obviously hanging out. But that book, being in the same industry as David, it's amazing journalism.
I think it's a coffee table book. I think we might need to put one of those on our coffee table, won't we? So
we'll get one for free, don't we?
Definitely. We'll take for that. Dave, get it in the post. Sort it out. I know it's not Christmas anymore, but throw us a bone. We've got a promo there, mate, to be honest. But Jasmine Paris, Barclay Marathons, first woman ever to finish.
What do you think about the foot? Like, because following it over the years, and you kind of, it used to be it would just be your man doing those Twitter updates. Remember,
he's iconic, isn't he?
Iconic, and you'd be waiting for the next little update on Twitter, and that was probably the maximum you'd get. And like I've had friends do Barclay, and you still know nothing because you either respect it by not asking too much, or they're not too forthcoming. So then there's little bits of footage, and it's more and more. And I thought it was amazing seeing Jasmine finish that race, and because that must have been absolutely mental. But at the same time, it's like, what do you think about the media creeping in and stuff?
It's just starting to, isn't it? Yeah, because it was always about the intrigue, the not knowing, the kind of no news coming out, everything locked down that side. But I think it's becoming a little bit more well known.
I was speaking to David about access for photographers and media to the Barkley Marathon.
Trying to get in there.
It's like, yeah. Please. No, it's like, it's gold dust. You have to really know the right people to get in there. And they all have a few selected photographers, videographers. Not even video. There's hardly any video footage, right? Yeah, but that's the allure of the Barkley. That's why it grabs so many people's attention, because there's hardly any hype around it, other than the hype is you don't really know, which I think it's amazing.
Where do you think that achievement of Jasmine's ranks like in all-time performances though? Because for me, it's got to get there, isn't it? I mean,
it's hard to compute because obviously you don't, unless you've done the race, you really don't know to a certain degree. Yeah, little bits of facts come out and you can kind of guess how. You just don't know, do you, unless you've actually been involved. But just the caliber of people, whether they've done it before, what they go on to do, you just know how hard it is. And it's only when you've done actual running, kind of have an idea, kind of thing. So it's hard. It's hard. I think even if you asked them, they probably wouldn't be able to tell you that much. I guess. Yeah. In terms of difficulty and in terms of like, she's a world class athlete, isn't she?
Yeah, she's. Yeah.
Whether it was the spine run she did, whether it was this Barclays thing, she is world class. So that is, you have to put it up there, I think. Yeah.
Is this where we tell Tom he's got an entry for next year?
It's not something I know a great deal about. It's you just got to do several marathons in a oneer, isn't it?
Yeah.
And the guy spots a bag.
One shot. Yeah. And it's on savage terrain, isn't it?
So that guy didn't John. Did he? No.
Kelly?
John Kelly? Yeah, so he's just done it. Has he finished it? Has he got the most finishes or something?
He's up there, I think, isn't he?
He was one of the 5 finishers that finished it this year. I think it was the most in any one.
He's done it before, hasn't he?
Yeah, so there's not many people that have finished it more than once, is there?
Yeah. Or is there? Jared, can't remember his last name, I think he's done it.
Yeah, it's a funny saying.
Apologies, Jared, I don't know your last name.
Rebecca.
But it's amazing, like, to like navigate. It's not just a race where you're following GPX. You've got to like get through some. I mean, I don't know much about it really, but little that I know, you're picking up pages from books, and you've got to collect pages from books from different areas, and that demonstrates that you've got to those checkpoints or whatever.
Right.
So it's more than just like you're running as fast as you can to a certain A to B, or
There's a crazy thing about the temperature as well. Sometimes can switch from like 20 degrees to minus 15 in 24 hours. It's a crazy race. I think just where it is in America, it's the bad terrain as well, isn't it? Like really challenging terrain. But the weather is so unpredictable.
Yeah. And then from Dave Miller's images that we have all seen, and a few other photographers, like you were saying there, the terrain that they're running through, brambles, thick hedgerow and trees that are just unforgiving, and it looks grim, like grey,
it does,
like hell. It doesn't look nice, like aesthetically, does it?
Yeah, I'm not going to put my name down for that.
No.
And your little vest, your little string vest, and your short shorts.
Get the sharp,
spray on the shorts. Yeah, it's not for me, is it? It's not for me. That's my vibe, that one. I'll give that on the miss.
I think the thing is that like those performances can sometimes go under the radar because that race has got so much intrigue and stuff, hasn't it? So like, it's not. Yeah, you're not going to get. But the fact that it did, I think it broke barriers in terms of media coverage because it was Jasmine, that kind of thing. But yeah, it's probably peaked in the early too soon, if anything, because it's probably the number 1 performance standout.
Definitely, it's hard to
move on, Ben.
Yeah, it's hard to move on.
See you next year.
Yeah, so that's the episode. We should have also given a nod to Damien Hall because he's come so close to doing the 5 laps twice now, hasn't he? I think he went wrong a bit on that last lap, didn't he? And
he's good at following people.
Bless him. I mean, that's a fair effort, that is. I'll tell you one performance this year that stood out for me as well. Just switching it quickly because I know that is a hard one to follow. But Killian Jornet doing. Don't mention my mate Killian.
You know him?
Yeah, I know him. Yeah,
really?
I'm pretty tight. He's in my phone book. Yeah.
Have you got his phone number?
Yeah. He's blocked me now. I've messaged him too many times. But
Dick
it did,
pics.
Yeah, selfies.
Did you not know?
come back,
Has he told you? Or did you not know about his relationship with Killian?
No, well,
No,
fucking
he
hell,
tells you, don't worry about
47
that.
times.
I mentioned it before on the podcast, but anyway, but Killian did
He had to
Alpine
move to
Connections.
Norway just to...
to escape. Yeah, he did actually. Yeah, forced him out. But Alpine Connections was a little project that he did this year where, for a start, actually, he won Zagama for the 11th time. Then he won Sierre-Zinal, and whilst he was in Europe for Sierre-Zinal, he went and did the Alpine Connections Challenge where he did all the 4,000 metre peaks in the Alps in like a pretty one. I mean,
That's impressive.
unbelievable.
Linking them up on a
superhuman.
little bike and all sorts, yeah.
But he just kind of normalises things, doesn't he? Like when you chat to him about it, just dropping that one in there. When I chatted to him about it, he was saying, like, he talks about it like it's a park run, or, well, maybe not like that, but just like it's just something he does every day. And then he's back running straight afterwards and no recovery really. I mean, it'd break anybody, wouldn't it? I don't think many people could finish it. But
Blows my mind. We watched that video trailer about what he'd achieved, and it was just, it was out of this world. And you can't even comprehend what that even feels like. You know, even to see it on video, it just, phenomenal stuff.
Yeah, because it was Into the Unknown this year. That was the Pyrenean Challenge, wasn't it? From, completing the full length of the Pyrenees.
Yeah.
That was the film we showed this year at Sport Shoes. And then next year, Alpine Connections, look out for it.
Yeah.
Get your invite.
Incredible.
Did he finish around the same time as UTMB finished? Was that?
Yeah, it was about the same time, wasn't it? I think.
Good marketing, that wasn't it?
It was, wasn't it? Yeah. Fair play to Normal. Yeah. You knew what he was doing there, didn't he?
Yeah.
Pretended he just decided to stay a little bit longer in the Alps. I think that was planned. Definitely.
When's he coming to Sheffield?
When can we get him? We were supposed to come on the last edition of the podcast, but let us down last minute. That's when Tom came in. But to be honest, I think Tom's done a sterling job. I'm quite happy with that. So Killian probably did us a favour, really.
Outside of that we could go on all day about outstanding performances. What do you think about the challenges that are on the rise from, let's call them influencers, or maybe they're not influencers to begin with, but just run challenges. I'm talking, the one that springs to mind, Hardest Geezer, Russ Cook. That's the one that usually I'm not that interested in, but from day one I could see like, this lad's at it kind of thing, in a good way. I was invested a little bit. I wanted him to finish. Whereas, I'll be honest, the others, I'm just not interested as much, because I'm always comparing to these like runners that we know that are outstanding in their field. Whereas, there's a rise of these challenges. How far can they go? Is it the longest or the maddest or the weirdest? Where do you stand, lads?
Yeah, I mean, it's interesting that you say that, because why are they doing it? And we were discussing this off camera, weren't we, before? Why are these?
What's the motivation?
What's the motivation?
Self-promotion.
It's self-promotion, surely, but also it's a test. It's a test. I'd like to think that, I know a couple of people that have done these challenges, and it is, they're incredible in their own right to be able to even give it a go. And it's not easy, because if they weren't in a position that they were physically able, then they could fall flat on their arse or on their face, and then, the whole world's watching, right? Because they've got big backing already. So hands up, fair play that they're giving it a go. It takes risk, it's courage, but there's definitely an element of self-promotion there. You talk about these top athletes who are really like top of their game, who really don't get as much recognition as they deserve. Yeah. But who am I to judge?
It's a controversial topic, isn't it? I mean, I thought Russ Cook he's done an amazing thing there, and I think he's really likable as well, isn't it?
100%.
Really
I think that's the difference, isn't it? You can
the guy that ran across Africa, top to bottom.
I think you can have good intentions. You can have a mad event like that, like it is, and I think you deserve everything off the back of it. It's whereas like the ones that don't sit as right with me is when it's like, oh, I'm a founder of a company and I'm going to do this challenge, and the fact that the company's sponsoring it, and it's all like, it's just a promotion bandwagon. And some of them are quite impressive, but they're not as impressive as people think when you compare it. And I don't think they are comparing it to the Jasmines and the Killians. It is a different thing. It's just interesting to talk about and hear the chatter in running world. And like some challenges seem to be massively impressive to people, but is it because of the marketing behind it more than the actual run itself?
Yeah, that's true. And there was also a challenge this year in the UK incredible. Again, Emo Body did the 3 peaks.
Yeah.
Dan Lawson also did the 3 peaks. Both fantastic achievements. There was a difference though in coverage, wasn't there, as well? Because Dan sort of went under the radar with that, didn't he? He did it after Emo. I mean, she quite rightly and quite deservedly got massive amounts of praise because it's an incredible challenge of that.
Yeah.
And then Dan sort of came in and did it and broke the overall record, but went about it in a totally different way. And I won't say I felt sorry for him because that's his approach, isn't it? He's just got a different. He's coming into it in a different way. He just did it because he wanted to do
That's
it.
a perfect
He's not about
example,
that, is he?
I
Yeah.
reckon. Those two different people, 2 different ways, same record in terms of like both going for the record, and like I enjoyed watching Imo's challenge, and I know Dan a little bit, and it's amazing to see what Dan does because it is under the radar a little bit, and he's happy to do that kind of thing. I don't think there's a right or wrong there, to be honest. It's the ones that like. They didn't involve like a helicopter and a jet plane and this kind of thing, then call it a world record.
Okay.
It's like, well, yeah, who else is going to do that? Like Rich isn't knocking about in a jet to get to the next country, that kind of thing. Yeah.
Going back to Imo, a friend of mine actually, but I actually joined her on part of her on a route on part of it. I was literally with her for a couple of miles just to support her because I was also passing. And I thought it'd be nice. And she dropped me there. She absolutely shot me flew. Jesus Christ. She's like, I like a ridiculous amount of mileage in. But now, going back to what you were saying there, she had a lot of backing and noise behind her. And you know what? Great. Because that helped, that inspired me. It's giving access to people that might be able to think, I'll never do something like that. Mm-hmm. Okay, Imo's a really good athlete, right? She's super fit, and she's young, but she's been running for years since she was a teenager. But talking about someone who did it like down under the radar with no backing and no sort of like circus around. Equally, the fact that Imo did it with all this, updates constantly, and Chris Taylor methodically designing that, making sure that she performed at the right and got it done safely. I just thought that's great because it inspires people. It gives us...
it raises the profile of the sport as well, doesn't it?
Yeah. All right. Inspires is a little bit overused word, but what it does it opens the door to opportunity, I think.
Yeah. I mean, where does the challenge end for some people? Though you mentioned about like Russ is a good example doing Africa. What's the next challenge? Like where does it go? Like, I mean, these are amazing challenges, but like, what's next? Running around the world? You think? Tom?
No, I mean, you get cycling around the world, don't you?
You do actually.
Around the world challenges, and someone will run around the world, don't they?
We don't just have a Bob Graham now either, do we? We have a double Bob Graham. Is it going to be a triple next?
Yeah. But on the flip side...
A lot of that is just like, I'm not fast enough to go for the record, so I'm just going to do it twice.
Yeah. There is always that, although I wouldn't be able to do that.
Not that I'm doing either.
It makes good TV. Come on, we need to get that. A double Gary.
Double Gary, yeah.
You
must have a challenge.
Make your own challenge.
What?
Offers Dyke.
Yeah, that's a good race. That's picked up a bit of traction over the years. The Offers Dyke, about 180 miles, I think.
Yeah. Did some of that. I was staying not too far away from part of the route, and it pretty tasty route actually.
Yeah. I mean, like my back garden backs onto it, part of it, and unfortunately.
What number are you, Gary?
I'll tell you after. Can't tell the tens of people that are watching this. The last, from my house to the coast, which is about 30 miles, which goes over Mull.
It goes up Mull for Mall, doesn't it?
The French on.
That is actually probably for me, I think it's the nicest part.
I've done the best bit then.
Yeah, exactly. The bit, I think it's Chepstow.
Is it Prestatyn? No one says.
Yeah, it goes into Prestatyn. And in reverse, you can do like from sea level up to by mine, which is only about 500 metres, but at the same time, it's 30 miles. That's cracking route. But way below some of the challenges that I'm knocking about.
Going back to your influencer debate as well, is it Brockman, the guy you mentioned to me?
Ned Brockman over in Australia. It was an interesting one because I'm gonna premise this with I think what he did was actually amazing. I was very impressed. Yeah, but sometimes I'm gobsmacked with the the kind of media train that gets hold of this thing, because he basically announced that he was going for courses record 1,000 miles. But if you know running and you know courses records and stuff, you kind of knew that wasn't ever going to happen. But what he actually did was legitimate and was crazy in itself. It's just like, do you need to go and link it to some? I don't know. I'm just putting the question: is it disrespectful to go say I'm going to go and break this record when it's arguably the best ultra runner of all time? And anyone who knows running a lot knows that wasn't going to happen based on Ned's background. But ultimately raised millions for good charity, and the actual what run he did was immensely impressive. So it's like, it's just a talking
not
point.
Putting that expectation on himself.
I'd have loved it if he hadn't put that bit in.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was impressed with it. Yeah.
Was he running around a track?
He ran around the track, which, like there's 6-day records and there's 1,000-mile records and stuff like that. It's always like ratified track and there's a counter and stuff like this. And they'd come up with their own system of counting and stuff. So it was never going to be, even if he'd have beaten,
Sounds horrendous, doesn't it?
But it was straight. This is the new, like, again, it was streamed on TikTok live pretty much 24/7.
What for what? How long?
10 days. Well, he was going for 12, 13 days. I'd have to check. I mean, I turned off after a day because he'd fallen behind the record. But you know what I mean? It's like massive operation, massive like respect for the money raised and everything. But it's just so far from what I know as ultra running. It's like, again, it's not right or wrong. It's just good to chat about.
I thought I was sort of ultra running was strictly like trail.
Well, some of the oldest records on tracks are like the hardest records to beat, whether it's
what did this
World 24-hour and 6-day racing doesn't get the coverage that it probably deserves in terms of performances. It's because it's so niche.
Yeah.
So when you take someone with a massive profile, say I'm going to beat this, and it's like a 30-year-old record plus, it's like that's not going to happen. But crack on, kind of thing. Yeah,
that's for the few. I mean, whose idea of fun is that? I mean,
you've got a mindset for that, haven't you?
Oh, man. I mean, my idea of running is not to run around a track and repeat like a hamster in a hamster wheel, or just mind, So it's like, anyway, either way, impressive strength up there to be able to do it.
It'd be interesting to see where someone like what do you do next?
Yeah, where does he go from here?
Yeah.
And I think that's one part of the question was like, where does it end? Like, what is the next, what distance is physically possible? Like, it's going to get to a point where somebody is going to run around the world, isn't it?
As long as you can edit Wikipedia, you can do what you want.
Speaking of which, Camille Herron, wow, that was a big news story, wasn't it? That was one of the best stories to come out of trail. Say one of the best, one of the biggest headlines to come out of the trail running world this year. I mean, let's talk about that.
Was this did someone not like someone else and they changed all the times or the facts? Or,
so my take on it was, because Camille Herron is an amazing ultra runner in her own right, isn't she? One of the world's best. But what she apparently did, and again, this...
We should be watching this.
But she might be, yeah. She'd probably be changing Gary's Wikipedia online right now if he got one.
Gary is 5'2".
Full of shit.
Tom will change it later if not. But apparently she changed her Wikipedia page, or somebody changed it to kind of like beef up her CV almost, to say that she was like the best world's ultra runner, regarded as the best. And she also like downgraded Killian and
other runners.
And Courtney as well. So
really?
Rather than Courtney being one of the world's best ultra runners, I think she was just a school teacher or an ex-school teacher in America who runs a little bit.
Who hacked that?
I mean, they traced it back to her IP address. So like, it obviously come from her camp, whether or not she'd done it or not.
Management.
Was it a management team or a coach?
Come out and say sort of hit.
Yeah, I mean, somebody had to take a bullet there, didn't they? That was pretty...
No doubt he probably did do it, and he was doing it because of... but again, Camille Herron's a business.
Yeah.
And he runs it like a business.
Wow.
And
so the motivation for doing it is to put her on an even bigger pedestal, isn't it? And
I don't know what it is. I don't think do you need to put Camille Herron on a... She puts herself on a pedestal by her performances. No one can doubt that. It's just... She
didn't need to do it, did she?
Yeah. No, you mess up, I guess. But
I believe that happened. Yeah.
No, it's drama, and it's not the end of the world either, which I know some people you can, like, I'm not one, I don't think she needs to be jumped on. I think you could almost like be interesting to hear what the people involved, like your man Killian and stuff, maybe you can WhatsApp them after and say,
that's good.
How do you feel about all the records you've done, but your Wikipedia's been changed? He's not going to be asked, is he?
Nah.
I don't think.
No, it won't be asked.
And hopefully it'll blow over for her, and she ditches the guy. And
but on the flip side, by that all coming out, people get to know her name a little bit more. Like Tom knows about Camille Herron now. Never heard of her before.
Heard of her.
Maybe it was meant to be.
Name on the back of your shirt.
Yeah.
You thought it was great though, didn't you? You loved her. Like, you actually had more respect for her doing it, I think, didn't you?
Yeah.
Is that the kind of thing you'd like to see more in trail running?
I mean, why not? Yeah, it's bit more of that. There's not a lot of scandal, is there?
When Jim Walmsley first come onto the scene, and he was confident, but he liked a bit of shit talk and things. He probably won't mind saying he's confident, but I love the way he'd say, I'm not just going to win this race, I'm going to go for this time or whatever, like Western States and stuff.
He puts himself out there, doesn't he?
Exactly, and that was quite refreshing. I love that confidence.
Yeah.
And
It's a Chamonix gym.
Yeah, Chamonix gym.
Yeah.
Chamonix gym.
Did I mention I know him as well?
Ben's going on speed dial as well.
He was hanging around.
He's blocked me as well on WhatsApp.
He was hanging around with us. La Flagier.
Yeah, he was actually. Yeah. He's a great guy.
He wasn't. Obviously, he pulled
That's
out.
That's right. Yeah, he pulled out. And actually, one of the big success stories this year was his teammate Vincent. I'm going to murder his surname, but Vincent Bullard.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
It's not a remuneration to the ex-Fulham player.
That's Jimmy Bullard, isn't it?
Yeah.
It could, well, the way I pronounce it could be, but it's spelled differently. Definitely.
Could be his like French cousin.
Yeah, it could be his French cousin. Yeah, but he was. I mean, it was amazing, wasn't it? To win UTMB as a real underdog, somebody who works at Hooker, not necessarily a pro athlete, to come through and do that. What a success story! But Jim was there cheering him on, wasn't he?
No script, brilliant. I mean,
that says
get
a lot about
exactly.
Jim. That does as well.
Yeah, exactly. And I was there with yourself and Kirsten. We were at the top of La Flagier, the last checkpoint for the UTMB race.
I was trying to remember where I was.
Were you sat down in that nice cafe? Yeah.
Bar. What day was it?
You were definitely in a bar.
I don't know what
Did
day
you get on
it
the
was.
TV behind you? You were proclaiming you were watching it.
I don't know.
You were probably both in a bar.
I was busy working, mate. I was
You
working.
Run Shorts News.
Yeah.
We were up there grafting, weren't we? Rich?
So we were up there and we were waiting for the front.
I was at that
runners.
party.
Yeah, I think you were waking up on that party.
Yeah, honestly. You're just like cultured
Someone said there was
trail
a race
running
going on. Yeah.
week for you, wasn't it? Very cultured.
Yeah.
And he came through, didn't he? And we obviously knew we was going to come through, but he blew all this sort of scripts out of the water, didn't he? And the expectations, it was amazing to see that, and the people cheering him on. Because he's French.
Yeah.
It's French, yeah.
So
it was nice to see that. And I think it made people realise that not always the favourite's going to win. You had your pre-race rovers like Tom Evans and Jim obviously not finishing the race, and nice to see somebody else come through, because it was a good contrast with Katie Scheider, who won. And she was the women's favourite. So you've got kind of like almost, I wouldn't say the queen of trail running, because you have to give that title to Courtney, but one of the top, if not the best ultra trail runner behind Camille. She paid me to say that. and Courtney, obviously. But no, I mean, Katie's well up there, and you would have expected her to win, but you didn't expect him to win it. So that was a nice story.
And going back to that Jim Walmsley, because he obviously pulled out early on in the race. Yeah, is that right?
Yeah,
he pulled out early on in the race. He was there. Obviously, he's Hoka as well, and Vincent Bullard works at Hoka as a shoe technician within the footwear development. So the fact that, Vincent Bullard has probably been designing shoes for Jim.
Yeah, what a
and
story.
people like that. And then Vincent is coming through in first place. Jim goes to support him, runs with him for literally 50 metres, and I got a couple of snaps of that, and it was, I love looking at those photos. But great
Don't say
team.
that. I think you'll get DNF for that. Just phone him under the bus there.
I know. We're chipping for that licence fee as well, Rich. What is it, 25 grand?
We were crapping ourselves. I did have a pass on. Pass, and he gave me access to the La Flagier, actually in the tent where talking about Katie Scheid. I was in there when she was first lady coming through. Was she about 8th overall?
Yeah,
no, was she about 8th?
She was, I think, at that point, 10th.
10th overall, and I'm in the tent with literally
12th,
another photographer, another videographer, and then literally 4 or 5 people just the last aid station, and it was fascinating for me, and I was lucky to be in there, and I'm getting some lovely images of Katie Scheid coming in, looking really chilled, really sort of like, like she'd literally run 150 kilometers at this point. And they do a spot check.
Yeah.
And they do a spot check on her. The officials do
kit check,
spot check, which was like, it just goes to show when we have managed to kit, which you'll need for your race, that races don't get you to check anymore. At the start of the race, they'll do random kit checks. And she had one there in the last aid station. But she had time before the next runner, and she was very calm, and I filmed it all, actually. Very
it's
calm.
mad to think of that, though, isn't it? Because you don't expect the front runners to have to go through those kind of strict kit checks, but yeah, I mean, it's good that they are doing it.
Quite rightly so. I was running the OCC, and they checked me minutes before the race. Minutes to check I got the right, equipment.
Also, UTMB, you saw Josh Wade's first break. Got to give a mention to Josh. I mean, Josh, great guy. And I mean, it was extra sweet because this year we'd made a little film about him at Sports Shoes with the North Face, and he came through like a good one, said he was going to have a top 10, finished 11th. But what story? I mean,
bet your ass was twitching for DNF, was it, when it started dropping?
Job was on the line with that one, and then Josh pulled it out. And also, I wouldn't say he nearly pulled out a few sort of miles in, but he was in about 138th after checkpoint 1. I thought, game over here. Like, this is going to flop, this film. But then anyway, came through like a good one. And if he'd have started like he finished, perhaps that saved him, I don't know, and made him have a good run. But he was flying when we saw him at Le Flégère. He was coming through the fields. Incredible finish, first Brit. Yeah, what performance that was. I mean, amazing.
But again, another runner that just looks like, is at the start of the race at that stage.
Dialed in, fully focused.
Yeah, but he is a machine. And,
it's a good lad, isn't it?
And actually, I think he's a breath of fresh air as a character within this sport as well.
He's honest and he's hardworking, just wants to run.
Grafter.
Yeah, it's good,
Yeah.
He's not about the glitz and the glamour.
No.
I sort of forced that film on him.
Nah, he's ace.
But yeah, it's not about that,
It
is refreshing. It's nice to see. It's just somebody who just loves running, isn't it?
Oh, no, yeah.
Outside of, we'll go back to them, but I want to know more about what has been some of your standout memories running-wise this year.
So, of people or personally?
I can't go fucking last. So can I go
Are we
last?
talking personally here, or?
You can go last.
Well, I mean,
I think personally.
You're running with me,
To be
haven't
honest,
you, mate?
I mean, I've asked that question. I've not ran for 10 months, so I'm...
To be honest, me and Ben went for a little jog in Chamonix, and I recreated your finishing thing, didn't I? Do you remember?
Bucket hat.
I didn't have the bucket hat, but I did.
On the finish line when I did that video for you.
Yeah.
It's a good video, by the way, that wasn't it? Yeah.
And that's probably my highlight. So I ran through where the finish was. I mean, there was fucking no one there. I think it was dark and raining, but me and Ben and I.
That'll be what it's like in Transgran Canaria.
Because the cut-off was 7 hours before I got there, So
Loads of people down the street?
There's fucking no one there. Absolutely no one at all. Just me and Ben. That's probably my highlight.
That was a good highlight.
That's a good highlight.
It was a good run as well, Tom, to be fair. Yeah.
Sober?
100%.
Well, that's debatable.
Yeah. Maybe hungover, but sober,
We had a few cocktails afterwards, didn't we?
We did have a few cocktails afterwards,
We went for a bit of a menu, last night and all.
Ben got stung by a wasp, but that's another
I actually
story.
did. Honestly, got stung by a wasp. I had a bit of a panic because you don't know how you're going to react to these things, do you? Put me on the floor in this bar anyway.
Right, what are you, 12?
Well, I've never had a wasp sting, honestly.
Yeah.
Did that going to react? Have you not been stung by a wasp?
No, first aid
once
treatment
before,
and
and that put
everything.
me to the floor as well, but not for a while. I'd sort of forgotten what it felt like, but Jesus. Half heard, is it?
I thought it was funny until that security.
You thought it was joking, but
No.
got back to the hotel and he bandaged me up, didn't he?
Yeah.
I think he took a lot of pleasure from that hotel first aider.
You weren't crying.
Yeah, I was crying a lot. To be fair, I mean, it was one of them where I wasn't sure if I was going to wake up the next day because we were in separate rooms and went to my bed and I thought, I don't know how I'm going to react to this.
Hang on. It's
Not one for overreacting. No.
I remember that hotel you were staying in.
I was pushing it.
You were crapping yourself when you thought you broke.
Oh no, this is a different hotel. But that one,
different trip.
Different trip.
Yeah,
it's different. Chamonix.
And you've been to Chamonix a few times.
A couple of times this year.
These two,
of course.
Mate. But I did. Oh, right. So the story
May as well
about
call
that
this the bloody Chamonix podcast. The
We
way
should
they've been
do,
banging
shouldn't we?
on, honestly.
But that one you mentioned, I broke the table in the bedroom of the. Like I just moved the table.
They're not watching this.
Right. So I broke the table in the bedroom. And
you meant to sleep on the bed, mate.
Yeah, I know. I only moved it, mate. I moved it just so I can't remember why I moved it, to be honest, but I moved it. I think someone had broken it before, but this table just collapsed, right? nice table as well.
Were you
could
in
tell
that
it was a
room with
few
it?
quid.
No,
I told him about it.
I wasn't. No.
But the problem was, I had a few days left before I was checking out, and I sort of like put the leg back on and just put it back where it was, pretending it wasn't me.
Like
but then I was
mousetrap.
crapping it all week, thinking when I check out, they're going to check it and they're going to bill me like 500 quid for this table because it's plush. And then it got to like the last day. And in fact, I think I asked you if you had anything to fix it with, or if you could come round and chewing your leg on. Yeah, chewing gum. Yeah. But it got to the last day, and they were closing down for the season. But not only that, they were selling off like all of the furniture in the rooms. I'm not even joking. So we were the last people to check out. Went out for breakfast, and it was like a free for all. It was like being sat here now eating some breakfast, and people coming in and just buying stuff for like 20 euros, like buying a table and taking it home, or buying a picture on a wall. And it was like a jumbo sale, and I was in the middle of it all, and they were trying to rush us out. But long story short, it didn't matter in the end. And I had sleepless nights over that table.
They were banking on the antique in your room, and that was the
that
one
was
that
it.
got
That probably worth loads of money. I got away with it anyway, mate. So yeah, just played
Chamonix tails.
Drop the key in and just ran. Yeah. So I've not been back since. Actually, no, we went back to a different hotel.
Yeah.
That was the worst thing. So,
Yeah.
Favourite run?
Oh,
Winning?
wow, man, yeah. I mean, I've never ever won anything.
Oh, the Wales one.
So I won a race.
Yeah, I saw
I was
that.
first
yeah.
over the line.
Yeah.
I mean, there weren't many people that were entered.
How many were in it?
I think there was about 200.
Oh, was it?
Yeah.
No, it was a good race. It was a decent standard. It wasn't a...
This
Yeah,
is the
don't play
banana.
down, Rich. That was mega, mate.
Thanks, man.
Good
Yeah.
performance. Yeah.
Yeah,
Well done.
I think I saw the live progress of him, and you were asking everyone what they'd been eating.
That's just me, talented
Solid.
broadcaster. Mate.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't often get that.
In the trenches, mate, when it really happens, asking people what's going on.
Yeah.
It's a funny race, that, because I jumped on it last minute. Because my good mate, Rich Lazenby, by the way, this is his studio where we are, actually.
Shout out True Grit.
True Grit Tattoo.
He's just doing a tattoo downstairs. He did
He
your
is.
Reed's tat.
He's just doing a man and his son downstairs.
Big Rich Lazenby.
We're booked in next, aren't we?
Yeah.
Uncensored Podcast.
Once we can get in, yeah, he's a busy man.
Yeah, he's a busy man, but he's a talented man and a great runner, by the way. But Rich and you were part of this at beautiful, brutal events.
Yeah.
Lynn Peninsula in Wales. And they just said, Rich, jump on it, come with us. And I think Rich only asked me because he couldn't drive. He's not. He says, can you be my taxi?
Rich said, what do you think of this race? It was a different race. I said, oh, it's a good race, but I'm working on the camera at Hughes race down on the Lynn Peninsula. Fancy this one kind of thing. If you can get a train to Wrexham, I'll pick you up and we'll go down. He said, yeah, happy days, do that. And then obviously he got...
Taxi driver.
Yeah.
He
got Rich involved.
Yeah.
And it's good because I like to introduce people down to that part of the coast because it's unique.
Beautiful,
isn't it? It is a beautiful part of the world.
Like Abersock area.
Yeah. And at this time of year, it's obviously...
down there. I'll be all right there.
Yeah, you'd get on fine with them all, mate. Yeah. You start in Pwllheli and there's different distances throughout the year. So and he puts on a good show, doesn't he?
Interesting character, great guy.
What was it?
60k.
60k.
1,500
And it's
meters.
mixed terrain. There's lots of roads, to be honest, but there's also, it just has to link it up. But then you go through like real coastal path, Nevin and stuff, which is beautiful. And what it does do is, like, I try to get across to Rich, definitely Rich when I'm speaking to him, but probably yourself, it's like, it's going to be a hard race because it's runnable, but it's also lots of beach and stuff like this. So I guess, you guys ran it, but yeah, it was good, quite competitive up the front because the lead changed hands quite a lot until the last.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, it was about, I think it was...
Hour or so?
I was on my own for the last, hour.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I got a phone call. I'm at the end of this. It was Abersock Beach, he was.
Oh, I called him. I called him on the bit.
I think, how do I get off the beach? Or he'd
Oh, you're
start
not
turning
phoning
back.
for a lift to the finish.
Oh, yeah.
And looking back at one of them, someone who worked on the race was like, yeah, he's gone back. He doubled back on himself. When you second guess yourself in a race. And so he'd literally double back, and then he rang, and I said, no, you got just go to the end, and it's obvious one, but it's further than you think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's nothing worse than panicking at that stage.
When the GPX was like a road, it looked like a road above the beach, but that was through like a caravan site. So I'm sticking on this soft sand right as the tide was coming
Literally
in.
down at the Warren Beach.
Yeah, because you said
Well, it's those expensive caravan site.
Man, it was very posh running down there. So, and I was running down there, and then I saw the lady, and after calling you for like an SOS, am I on the right track? Because I might win something here.
Because I told everyone I need to get to. It was the next beach. I need to get to the next beach to see Rich because he's going to be leading. It's going to be quality. I'm going to get the thing, and he rang me and thought, this dickhead's going to mess this up. I bombed it down in the car in the speed limit, 20 miles an hour, and got there with plenty of time. But yeah, it was good. You know, like when you're not involved in a race, but I could hear the panic in Rich's voice.
Screaming.
Have I got it right way?
Doesn't speak Welsh.
Can't speak English. But no, there was no. I was like, this beach is never bloody ending here.
And all he needs after that is getting to the last beach with me with the camera, giving him an interview.
Yeah, mate. But no, fun.
Yeah, congratulations, mate. It was good. It was good. Yeah.
Thank you.
Highlight of the year.
Highlight, yeah. Yes. And OCC.
Yes, mate. Can't take that away from me. That was a great finish.
I don't want to, but, very lucky to get a draw on the OCC. And then, what an experience that is to run in Chamonix.
Good week.
What a week we had.
Are we going to sort that out again this year?
Yeah, we need to.
That's an extra back in Transgrant.
I need to book that accommodation.
Get Tom a race entry as well for that ETC at MCC.
He would lap that North Face kit on.
You'd look good in it.
Full kit North Face.
You would look good in it. Get the poles. We can walk round together around Chamonix, full kit wankers.
That's what it's all about.
Definitely.
What was your highlight then, Ben?
My highlight, there's not many to choose from, but I have to say it's probably the British Fell Relays this year. Apart from running with you.
That meets you around with Killian.
Yeah, that one as well, yeah. I mean, less said about that, the better, really. Yeah. They won't let me talk about it. That is RUNcensored. But yeah, probably the British Fell Relays, only because they stuck me on the navigation leg this year. And if anybody who knows me as a runner knows that I'm useless at navigating anyway. In fact, I got lost coming here. It's fourth time here. So I couldn't find my way out of the paper bag, but I got put on the nav leg, local ground, so it was like in Appletree Wick, about 5 miles from my house. But for weeks before it, I just practiced. And when I say practice, just like running around the local area, because on the race day, you run to a first checkpoint, you get given a map.
I was going to say, it's not predetermined.
Oh no, so you don't know where it's going to go, and then you get the map, and then you've got to find where you're going to go. So when I picked the map up on the race day, like the first few checkpoints, I knew exactly where they were. Just put the map in my pocket, bang, 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 just nailed it. And then the last bit was a bit more tricky. But mate, I was absolutely buzzing with that. So
how far was that roughly?
About 6.5 miles, something like that.
Tough race, actually. But the way you fly on those,
it's a tough race. I mean, I was much slower. Well, it's a paired leg as well. We were much slower than the winning team. I mean, they flew around in exceptional time, and there was a few little errors that I made. But I mean, the fact that I made it back in one piece was like, enough for me, because I can't believe I actually managed to complete navigation.
Interesting thing, which I think a lot of viewers will be interested in, shoe of choice for that race.
For that race, Innovate Mud Talon Speed, lightweight, breathable, drains well, 8mm lug, Bosch.
8mm lug,
I'm all about that.
That's the sort of terrain.
What are they called again?
Yeah, what's the new name for it, mate?
Gorilla's Nipples.
Yeah.
That's what I call them.
Okay.
That's the
ones that I got.
The lugs.
Yeah.
Can you use that in your next meeting?
Yeah, it will do actually, yeah.
What we need is more
nipples.
You know your shoes.
What are
you going to wear?
I will. I mean, to be honest, whatever I'm given actually, Rich. So got to keep the toe the line. Whatever comes my way.
What about you, Rich? What's your shoe of choice?
Well, to be fair, I wore for that race. There was the Welsh race. I brought some ASICS. I wore the ASICS Meta Fuji Trails.
Nice. Oh, they just took you on holiday.
Yeah. But I had them. No, I had them. Oh, we had a great trip with ASICS. It was nice.
Oh, what a segue.
No,
but it's the next one.
But I had those trainers before that trip. Okay. And they were fast. They were fast. Carbon plate, rocker in, only 3.5mm lugs, and do a lot of road. However, I do like the No Face Pros.
Yeah, in fairness, in your defence, Rich, you wore them for OCC this year, but you actually bought a pair before you went in.
Thank you.
Because you did put that one through, and I saw that go through because you asked me to.
Yeah, great trainers. I wore the ones for about a year.
Yeah,
they're good. But no.
Look forward to it, lads. So we've got plenty to look forward to with Transgran,
Yep.
Chamonix hopefully back again. Me and Tom love it there, second home. That's summer to look forward to. But that's a good recap of 2024. It's time now for a few drinks, couple of tats each, and then a quiet night in.
Fact.
Jules Holland.
Should we finish off a mince pie?
Let's do it.
Yeah.
And we'll see you next Tuesday.
Next year.
Next year.
Yeah.
Spot on. I'm not actually.
I thought they were quite.
Yeah.
Maybe cut that out. Sorry. Did I fuck that up there?
No, not at all. No, not at all.
No,
That was a
no,
good
no,
way to
no, no.
finish, actually. That was more than 45, but it was good, wasn't it? Yeah, it's right.
You left me out again.
Shit, I did, didn't I? I didn't come back to you because of the injury thing. You
No,
sort of
don't
said,
leave it.
Shit, I did, didn't I?
I was thinking, Christ, I'm going to have to think of a run here. And then no one else.
Oh, your favourite run?
Yeah.
I
shit.
thought you meant this year. I thought you meant this year, no? I thought you were looking at a highlight this year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, yeah, leave it. It's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, honestly. Honestly, you'll hear the first one. It's like,
So
it's
the
meant to be an
introduction.
introduction. He just
So
introduced
I
himself,
introduced myself and I
basically.
didn't introduce Gary at all. Do you think we should film one bit again or not?
No. It's all right, mate.